Hello everyone, welcome to Pratham Test Prep. My name is Ashish Bhargav and here we have with another episode of Daily News Analysis. तो कैसे हैं आप सब? I hope that you guys are doing well. Before we start, let me know if my voice is audible. Am I visible to each and everyone? Am I audible and visible? Okay. So dear friend, this is very important to understand the importance of newspaper. So आपको पता है कि न्यूज़पेपर में क्या क्या चीज़ें important है, right? तो majorly in this newspaper analysis session we discuss about the Hindu and Indian Express, जहाँ पे we discuss the important articles and I already highlighted all the portions so that it will be very easy for you to understand which part is important for your newspaper analysis session, right? So the newspaper analysis session we do from Monday to Friday, that we do from 11:30 a.m. and in this newspaper analysis session, important news that we cover from all the major newspaper, that what I told you, that we actually cover the Hindu and Indian Express majorly. And what exactly we discuss in newspaper analysis session, we discuss about national news, we discuss about international news, economy based news, sports based news, science and tech, personal news, summits and conference. And apart from that, we also discuss about Supreme Court verdict, any amendments, any bills which is in the parliament. This is also we discuss in newspaper analysis. एक और रिक्वेस्ट है आपसे, इफ़ यू आर न्यू इन दिस चैनल प्लीज सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल एंड डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू प्रेस द बेल आइकन. एंड we will also discuss questions of the day. and questions क्यों important है, आपको पता होनी चाहिए कि जब तक आपके पास सारे sources हैं, so try to understand one thing is that कि like for gathering information and to solving the question, there are two different things. कई बार आपके पास information होती है लेकिन you are not able to solve the multiple choice questions because of the you trap in such kind of dilemma, or we can say kind of ambiguity in your mind कि यार ये आंसर A होगा B होगा. That is why we take an initiative to solve the multiple choice questions. And quick tips, मतलब with the help of mnemonics we'll learn the SEO summits, right? सबसे पहली न्यूज़ इसी चीज़ के ऊपर है, SEO. इंडिया येट टू टेक अ डिसीजन ऑन पाक इनवाइट ऑन SEO समिट. ये दो आर्टिकल्स हैं बेसिकली इसमें, ये आप देख सकते हैं. पाकिस्तान इनवाइट्स पीएम मोदी टू SEO मीट इन इस्लामाबाद. सो ये इसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें हैं दैट वी डिस्कस इन डिटेल. बट बिफोर वी थिंक द थिंग्स मेंशन दैट India has not attended any meeting on SAARC in Pakistan since 2006. ये SAARC जो है South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. जो SAARC समिट्स है 2016 में जो हुई थी, उसमें भी इंडिया ने पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया था. एंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स के स्पोक पर्सन दैट लिस्ट पीएम ट्रेवल प्लान्स फॉर सितंबर एंड अक्टूबर डज नॉट conflict the role of India participation in SEO summits. So the government confirmed on Friday that received an invitation from Pakistan for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization SEO summits head of the government meeting in Islamabad. और ये इस्लामाबाद में कब से कब है? इस्लामाबाद में है अक्टूबर 15 और अक्टूबर 16 की. So यहाँ पे जो है एक चीज़ समझना हो आपका यहाँ पे कि India and Pakistan decided what they joined the regional grouping and the elected leaders. And ये SEO summits कब start हुआ था? What is the main purpose to start the SEO summits? So basically, in addition, India has refused to attend any meetings of the SAARC grouping in Pakistan since 2016, and it would be a major departure from this policy if the government were to send a minister to a high level, a dignitary to Islamabad for the SEO meeting. So Mr. Modi that will travel next to the United Nations for the summits of the European special meeting on September 22 and 23. So यहाँ पे एक चीज़ देखो, रशिया का भी यहाँ पे विजिट है. और उसके बाद अगर देखें इस आर्टिकल में मेंशन की हुई ऑलरेडी कि देखो 2024 में जो समिट्स हुए थे उसमें क्या था, 2016 में सार्क रीजनल कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में मोदी जी ने जाने से मना कर दिया था. सो पाकिस्तान ऑन थर्सडे इनवाइटेड PM Modi on the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Council of Head of Government meeting to be held there in October. So Pakistan holds the rotational chairmanship of SCO Council of Heads of Government, and that capacity will be hosting the 2-day in-person SCO Heads of the Government. So here we think that very major points that we need to cover, that recently 2024 Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summits was concluded in Astana, Kazakhstan, and brought together leaders from across the region. So what are the key highlights of 24's SCO Summits? The new membership is that Belarus has become a member of 10th member state of SCO, and in the Indian External Affairs Minister met with the Belarusian counterparts to strengthen bilateral ties. अभी तक 9 हैं इसमें. 25th summit जो है SCO की, that is going to be held in China, and in this 24th summit that was in the Astana, Kazakhstan, that in the 24th summits in Astana adopted an Astana declaration that is approved 25 strategic agreement that would be on energy, security, trade, finance and information security. So ये जो है October 2015 से 16 के बीच में है. Now the next article here we talk about reforming the process of judicial appointments. See basically यहाँ पे NJAC का रोल क्या है, नेशनल जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट कमीशन के बारे में. यहाँ पे NJAC which means that National Judicial Appointments Commission, NJAC Act 2014. So April में क्या हुआ, 60 lakhs cases that remain pending in the various high courts. 30% of the seats remain vacant according to a report published by Department of Justice. Department of Justice. So collegium system versus an NJAC. Collegium system is responsible for the collegium versus NJAC. So collegium system are responsible for अपॉइंटमेंट एंड ट्रांसफर ऑफ जजेस. मतलब जो हमारे कंट्री में क्या होता है, एक जज दूसरे जज को सेलेक्ट करते हैं. सो द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ जजेस व्हिच इज लिंक्ड टू द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ पेंडेंसी ऑफ केसेस that has always been a matter of a debate in India. Delays in appointment are often caused by a standoff between the executive and judiciary. This was exacerbated when the Supreme Court struck down in the unconstitutional National Judicial Appointment Commission NJAC Act 2014 में, which sought to be given politicians and civil society a final say in the appointment of judges to the high courts. Now the things is that the court held that the collegium system which is in place protect the independence of judiciary, since the world over the judiciary is not the sole body which appoints judges, and this argument has always appeared weak. And some countries have commission comprising member of judiciary and legal academia, politicians and lay persons to appoint judges. India could take lesson from them, because the main जो आर्टिकल का क्रक्स है उसी चीज़ के ऊपर है. So NJAC जो है that may jeopardize impartially and objective in the appointment process and thus endangering judicial independence. However, जो number of legal professionals हैं that including from judges have argued that कि जो NJAC है is a better system. So if appointment of judges have to take place faster, we need to bring back to the NJAC. Prior to any plan being finalized, all relevant parties including the judicial, legislature, civil society and bar association should be consulted. So for instance, the Constitutional Reform Act 2005, Constitutional Reform Act 2005 that introduced by the UK established 2 commissions for the purpose of choosing candidate. पहला जो कोर्ट में होगा जैसे इंग्लैंड और वेल्स में है, एंड द अदर फॉर द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. सो 15 member commission called the Judicial Appointment Commission. It is designated to oversee the nomination of judges to the court of England and Wales, और इसमें चेयरमैन भी होते हैं who is always a lay member. 6 जुडिशियल मेंबर्स होते हैं जिसमें 2 ट्रिब्यूनल जजेस होते हैं, 2 प्रोफेशनल मेंबर्स होते हैं, एंड दे मस्ट बी अ बैरिस्टर इन इंग्लैंड एंड वेल्स एंड सॉलिसिटर ऑफ द सीनियर कोर्ट्स ऑफ इंग्लैंड एंड वेल्स और फेलो ऑफ द चार्टर्ड इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ लीगल। सो बहुत सारे कंट्री में क्या है दैट हैव स्विच टू एन अपॉइंटमेंट कमीशन सिस्टम, जैसे अपने कंट्री में एनजेक था, नेशनल जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट कमीशन। तो बहुत सारे डेवलप कंट्री में जो है वहाँ पे अपॉइंटमेंट कमीशन सिस्टम है। साउथ अफ्रीका दैट हैज़ अ जुडिशियल सर्विस कमीशन दैट इज नोन टू बी अ JSC दैट एडवाइसेस टू प्रेसिडेंट टू अपॉइंट जजेस। फ्रांस की अगर हम बात करें तो फ्रांस में क्या सिस्टम है, वहाँ पे फ्रांस द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ रिपब्लिक होल्ड्स द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ड्यूटी टू सेफ गार्ड द इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ judiciary but does not direct selected judges. So judges are chosen through a process involving the High Council of Judiciary, जिसमें कि councils होंगे, magistrate होंगे। इन केस ऑफ लोअर कोर्ट्स में वहाँ पे मिनिस्टर ऑफ जस्टिस होते हैं जो कंसल्ट करते हैं और that to receive advice from high councils. So these models which provide space to member of judiciary of legal academia, जिसमें politicians and lay persons and progressive appointment system, India could take lessons from them. So reworking NJEC की बात करें तो यहाँ पे NJEC was an elegant reform. It could have resulted in faster nomination of judges because of the democratic structure. जो अपने इंडिया का भी एट प्रेजेंट कॉलेजियम सिस्टम है अंडर विच द चीफ जस्टिस along with 4 जिसमें 2 senior most supreme court judges recommends appointment and transfer of judges is opaque. No one knows what is the criteria are to select judges. The system offers room for favoritism which could prevent competent and deserving judges from being appointed. Despite it suppose false national judicial appointment commissions can be reworked by taking into account the views of judiciary, the executive and civil society, because my friend, judiciary is considered as a checks and balance, right? So in regarding that context, we have to understand the NJEC could provide a more efficient method of appointing judges, encouraging communication between the arms of state and addressing some of the perceived drawbacks of the collegium system. The way forward ultimately necessitates and nuances strategy that balance the justifiable concern of all parties involved and guarantees that the new system will increase efficiency without jeopardizing the integrity of judicial appointments. So in India, delayed justice is all too common and we need to think of ways of preventing this. This is very, 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 very important. So इन दैट कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो है उसको रिफॉर्म्स करने की ज़रूरत है। जो कॉलेजियम सिस्टम है अंडर विच जो चीफ जस्टिस के साथ साथ 4 लोग होते हैं जिसमें 2 सीनियर मोस्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस होते हैं दैट रिकमेंड्स अपॉइंटमेंट ट्रांसफर ऑफ जजेस। तो ये चीज़ों को चेंज करने की ज़रूरत है। दिस इज व्हाट इट मेंशन इन दिस आर्टिकल। नाउ द नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल हियर टॉक अबाउट डीहाइपिनेटिंग राइस और व्हीट। तो देखो इसमें क्या चीज़ें मेंशन की गई है। बेसिकली जो राइस और व्हीट की बात करें, इंडिया हैव मोर वी कैन से arable land than China. So with wheat facing production challenges and rising consumptions and rice seeing a surplus problem, the two cereals have becoming a grain apart. So most economists and policymakers that tend to club wheat and rice, treating them as a part of cereal surplus. तो अगर आप देखें अपने कंट्री में टॉप व्हीट प्रोड्यूसर में उत्तर प्रदेश सबसे टॉप पे है, जो 34.4% आपके अपनी कंट्री का राइस व्हीट प्रोडक्शन करता है। द नेक्स्ट पोजीशन इज इन मध्य प्रदेश एंड थर्ड वन इज पंजाब एंड देन हरियाणा। उसके बाद राजस्थान, बिहार, गुजरात एंड महाराष्ट्र है। While we talk about in our country the topmost rice producer, that is the West Bengal, second position is Uttar Pradesh, third is Punjab, fourth is Telangana and यहाँ पे आपका छत्तीसगढ़, आंध्रा एंड बिहार की बारे में मेंशन है। So in rice there is a surplus problem. India exported 21.21 million tons of cereal grain basmati plus non basmati rice 2021-2022 में। सो यहाँ पे जो गवर्नमेंट ने क्या चीज़ें बताने की कोशिश की है। सी थिंग्स हैव बीन द अदर वे अराउंड ऑफ द व्हीट with export plunging into a peak of 7.24 metric ton in 2021-2022. So usually the rice stocks are below that of wheat at this time of this year. This is because wheat is the harvested and marked in April to June. जो wheat है that is harvested from April to June. So wheat as the main kharif crops comes in only from October, but over the last 3 years, rice stock on August 1 at the tail end of the crop marketing year. So production issues of wheat, if we talk, like rice is grown both during the kharif southwest monsoon and rabi, दोनों में rice को हम कर सकते हैं, which is shown in the mentioned in the table. So wheat by contrast had a single rabi crops. जो wheat है आपका उसमें single rabi crops में होता है. So the big four land UP, like UP, MP, Punjab and Haryana accounts over 76% जो है that India's output. So wheat is thus temporarily a well or geographically more constrained crop than rice, that making it the productions relatively more volatile. So the cereal crop जो है that has become more vulnerable to winters, that getting shorter, warmer and less predictable, this part due to climate change. So in that context, the maximum production of wheat producer state is that Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Bihar and Gujarat and Maharashtra. So rice faces the opposite problems, where domestic consumption is not keeping pace with production, and the government should immediately lift the export of नॉन बासमती राइस के बारे में. सो 20% जो है ड्यूटी जो उसके ऊपर लगाते हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, जो इम्पोज होती है. सो 20% ड्यूटी ऑन द पैराबॉयल नॉन बासमती राइस, दैट शुड बी ऑन द शिपमेंट मस्ट also go. Not doing also because that will create a unmanageable excess stock problem also. So आपको याद रखने की in terms of wheat production, UP is a maximum wheat producer state, UP, MP, Punjab and Haryana, and rice is West Bengal, UP, Punjab, Telangana and Odisha. Now we move to the next article. How Supreme Court has sent a right to accused in recent PMLA cases. Many times we discuss about the article about Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So in a series of decisions, the Supreme Court recently highlighted the rights of people accused of money laundering, even in the face of stringent provision on arrest on bail under Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. That is PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So in there is one case study, that in Vijay Mandamal Chaudhary versus Union of India 2022. That is, one is Vijay Mandamal Chaudhary versus Union of India. 3 judges bench led by Justice A.M. Khanvikar that upheld all the challenges on the PMLA provision, including the restrictive bail conditions and the wide powers of investigation and arrest granted for the enforcement directed. और ये जो powers हैं that have been recently reined in through smaller intervention. So PMLA जो है that gives the ED the power of arrest if the material is possesses give it reason to believe an individual is guilty of money laundering. The Supreme Court detailed the issues of Pankaj Bansal vs Union of India. It found that the grounds were informed orally in some cases and writing in others. The Supreme Court said an accused has a fundamental right to be informed on the grounds of arrest under Article 20 of the Constitution of India. Written grounds of arrest must be given as a matter of course and without exception. It held without this, the arrest would be illegal and invalid. So the bail for under trial section जो है आपका 436 section 436A, the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, state that if a person has been detained for up to half the maximum period of imprisonment for that offence while the trial of investigation underway, that shall be released on bail. तो विजय मंडमल बेंच केसेस में ये जो है अप्लाई हुआ था PMLA एज वेल. तो यहाँ पे जो है सेक्शन 45 जो कहता है PMLA का, दैट प्रोवाइड्स stringent twin conditions for bail, that requiring an accused to prove the has not committed an offense under the PMLA, that reversing the standard burden of proof in criminal cases, and not likely to commit any offense while on bail. So however, the bench held that these conditions can be relaxed if the accused has undergone a long period of incarcerations. जो अभी मनीष सिसोदिया वाला केस हुआ था, that was inaccurated for around 17 months without trial commencing. तो बेल एक्सेप्शन इसमें वुमेन के लिए भी है. द कोर्ट ग्रांटेड बेल फॉर द BRS लीडर के कविता on August 27 in the excise policy case. It also held that Kavita would benefit from the exceptions of section 45, which state that the women may be released on bail if the special court to so directs. So under section 25 जो है of the Evidence Act 1872, now section 23 हो गया वो भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम 2023, उसका नाम चेंज किया गया. So confessions made to police officers are not admissible as evidence during trial. Now we move to the next article here. Why disconnecting from work is important for mental health. Recently Australia ने यहाँ पे ये चीज बताया कि why does it mean? It means that जो workers in Australia में हैं, that can now refuse to respond to work related communication outside of their working hours unless doing so it in unreasonable. मतलब ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अब क्या है कि वहाँ पे राइट टू डिस्कनेक्ट जो है ये एक लॉ पास किया गया. मतलब ऑफिस आवर्स के बाद आप अपने बॉस के कॉल को, वो आपको कॉल कर सकता है बट आपके पास राइट्स है उसको डिनाई करने की. सो यहाँ पे दिस डज नॉट मीन दैट एम्प्लॉयर्स कैन नॉट कॉन्टैक्ट एम्प्लॉयज outside work hours, but it does mean that the employer can choose to ignore this communication. अगर आपकी वर्क आवर्स 10 o'clock से 8 o'clock के बीच में रात के 9 बजे वो एम्प्लॉयर्स बॉस आपको कॉल कर सकता है, बट आपके पास वो चॉइस होगी इग्नोर करने की. So ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो यहाँ पे एंथनी अल्बेनिस, that is reported to have said, we want to make sure that the just people don't get paid 24 hours a day, so they don't have a work for 24 hours a day. So it's quite simple था कि आप 24 घंटे के हमारे को सैलरी पे नहीं करते, हम 24 घंटे क्यों काम करें आपके लिए. So it is a mental health issue, frankly, as well as for the people to be able to disconnect from their from their work and connect with the family and their life. So जो डेटा है यहाँ पे इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, that India ranks among top countries when it comes to the number of hours worked per week at an average of 47.7 over 13 hours more than average work week in Germany at 34.3. तो बाकी जो डेवलप कंट्री है, their working hours is quite different. So overworking that can decrease productivity and lead to burnout, and inability to switch off can lead to exhaustion and poor mental health. So leisures and breaks are very crucial. A study shown, for instance, that high stress jobs such as military and paramilitary forces not being able to get leave as a critical factors contributing to stress. So long, unsocial or inflexible hours is listed as one of the risk factors to mental health by the World Health Organization. So guys, next one is gender budget के बारे में इसमें कि why it is different components of gender budget. Statement have instance of missing allocations. इसमें वही सारी चीज़ें आर्टिकल मेंशन की हुई है कि what we don't talk about when we talk about rape, the power asymmetric, the silence women, masculine language of law, इसमें क्या क्या चेंज किए जानी चाहिए, because there is a form of voluntary delusions that makes men who are part of the problems and women who excuse them the perform mental. That too, these are the people who believe that women can avoid harassment if only they are less provocative, more submissive. So these things have been already we have discussed in the previous analysis session. So now trick to remember G7 country, as I told you that we can learn it with the help of this mnemonics used with G. So J stand for Japan, USA, Italy, Canada, England, Germany and France. and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So we can say there are two tricks is here. One is Indian Truck Squad in Pakistan. So India, Tajikistan, Russia, Uzbekistan, China, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan, and Pakistan. And we can learn it here that India, Kyrgyzstan, Iran, Tajikistan, Russia, Uzbekistan, China, and Kazakhstan. Now here is the questions of the day. The very first question: which of the following institution is responsible for leading the retired sports person empowerment training RESET program launched on National Sports Day? Lakshmibai National Institute of Physical Education, National Institute of Sports, Sports Authority of India, and Indian Olympics Association IOA. So this one is the Lakshmibai National Institute of Physical Education. The RESET program launched on National Sports Day is spearheaded by the Lakshmibai National Institute of Physical Education, and the initiative focuses on empowering retired athletes by providing them with career development skills to enhance their employability. Next question is here: which of the following countries is not a member of G7 group? So G7 group that we can say is obvious. Russia is not a part of G7. So a group of 7 founded in 1975, formerly called Library Group. Group of 6, group of 8 reversion is an, and it includes Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and United Kingdom, and the United States. Which of the following countries is the world's largest producer of gold? India, Australia, South Africa, and China. और सबसे ज़्यादा गोल्ड प्रोड्यूस करता है एट प्रेजेंट इज चाइना. इंडिया was considered as a golden sparrow but not right now, so we can say China is the world's largest gold producer. China is the world's largest producer of gold, consistently leading global productions. In the recent years, the country was invested heavily in gold mining and has vast reserve that contributes significantly to its production capacity. China's dominance in gold productions highlights its strategic focus on resources extractions and its influence on global commodities markets. The large-scale production of gold in China is also reflective of the country's broader economic strategies, including the accumulation of gold reserves as a part of financial and monetary policies. Next one, National Sports Day. National Sports Day, celebrated on August 29th, commemorates the birth anniversary of which Indian sport legend? Obviously, is the birth anniversary of Major Dhyan Chand. In the 3 times he went into the Olympics, 1928, 1932, and National Sports Day जो है वो celebrate करते हैं August 29th को every year to honor the birth anniversary of the Major Dhyan Chand, one of the India's greatest field hockey players, that known as magician of hockey. Dhyan Chand's remarkable skills and achievements, including 3 Olympic gold medals that have made him a legendary figure of Indian sports history. And the day was established in 2012 that aims to promote physical fitness, a healthy lifestyle, and foster to a strong sports culture in India, reflecting the values and dedication exemplified by Major Dhyan Chand. Now here it is the last question of the day, and consider the following statements about Amnesty International. Amnesty International जो है एक intergovernmental organization है composed of volunteers who campaign for human rights. The organization is known for publishing reports on human rights abuses worldwide. Amnesty International is a governmental organization operating under the United Nations. How many of the above statements are the correct one? Only 1, only 2, all 3, and none. So here is the right. Amnesty International works for the human rights. So statement 1 is obvious. Third one is incorrect one. So Amnesty International जो है indeed an intergovernmental organization that composed of volunteers who campaign for human rights. So Amnesty International is well known for publishing detailed reports on human rights. Third जो गलत है, because Amnesty International is a non-governmental organization, NGO है, and operates independently, not under the United Nations. It's not the agency of United Nations. So I hope that you understood like कि हमें newspaper में what things is important and how we need to do this. So I hope this is very important to understand the importance of newspaper. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon so you will get the notification of all our Pratham Test Prep mentors. Or make sure, my dear friend, this is very important, जब भी आप न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस सेशन को देखते हैं उसके आप अगर आप नहीं लाइव में आप आते हैं तो आप बाद में भी आप इसे ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. एंड मेक श्योर, दिस इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट, कि जब भी अगर आपके पास टाइम हो, मेक अ शॉर्ट नोट्स ऑन द एवरी डे. बिकॉज देखो 30 डेज़ की जो न्यूज़पेपर होती है वो अगर आप डेली बेसिस पे करते हो तो ऑब्वियस आपकी करंट अफेयर्स धीरे धीरे इंप्रूव होने शुरू हो जाती है. वन डे विल नॉट चेंज योर लाइफ, बट इफ़ यू डू इट रेगुलरली that definitely it will change. So this is important. So this is all about the session, dear students. We'll meet you in the next YouTube session. Till then, bye bye and take care. Thank you so much for joining with us. Bye bye and take care once again.